one church town, there's a gold dirt road to a whole lot of nothing. Got a deed to the land, but it ain't my ground. This is God's country. We pray for rain and thank Him when it's falling, 'cause it brings a grain and a little bit of money. We put it back in the plate, I guess that's why they call it God's country. I saw the light in a sunrise, sitting back in a 40 on the muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shine with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of a pin-found Dixie whistle in the wind, that'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country. We turn the dirt and work until the week's done. We take a break and break bread on Sunday, then do it all again, 'cause we're proud to be from God's country. I saw the light in a sunrise, sitting back in a 40 on the muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shine with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of a pin-found Dixie whistle in the wind, that'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country. Headstone reads or what kind of pine wood box I end up in. When it's my time, lay me 6 feet deep in God's country. I saw the light in a sunrise, sitting back in a 40 on the muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shine with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of a pin-found Dixie whistle in the wind, that'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country. Yeah, I saw the light in a sunrise, sitting back in a 40 on the muddy riverside, getting baptized in holy water and shine with the dogs running. Saved by the sound of a pin-found Dixie whistle in the wind, that'll get you heaven bound. The devil went down to Georgia, but he didn't stick around. This is God's country.
Woo, man, it's been a day. It's been a day. Maine has lost its mind. The left has lost its mind. I never will ever will understand. Never. I will never. Yep, my mic's on. I'll never understand the celebration of somebody dying. Like I don't get it. I don't understand it. It makes absolutely no sense to me. I don't get it. My mic is low. Okay, well, let me turn it up. Sorry. It's absolutely ridiculous. I don't understand it. It makes absolutely no sense to me. Let me make sure my mic's even. Yeah, on this right mic. Let me pull it closer. See, Graham makes me change stuff, and change the way I do stuff, and it ends up messing a whole bunch of my stuff up. But it's okay. Mike is fine. Quit messing with him. I love you guys. Anywho, Maine's lost its mind, and going back to this celebration of Lindsey Graham passing away, and you see the left, you see the little micro mini pimp midget brothers, like, I'm glad he's dead. I don't get it. Hitler, sure. Sure. Pedophiles, sure. I get it. And it's like they put and I got a whole lot of hatred on Twitter yesterday and this morning. Like, well, you're wanting the death penalty for Tyler Robinson. Yeah, because he killed somebody. Like, I'm sorry, if you kill somebody in America, we're supposed to kill you back. That's how this works. And that's how this is supposed to work. But like with what's going on in Maine, yet again, another person tried to run an ICE agent over and got shot in the face for it. And I have this much sympathy for you because at the end of the day, listen to my septum ring, shoulder biting liberals out there. If you stay your ass in the house or you stay your ass at work and just let ICE do its job, none of this would happen. Imagine that. Imagine that. If you would just let them do their job, you'd still be here. Okay, Renee would still be here. Alex would still be here. Whoever got shot in the face today would still be here. I'm not going to celebrate any of these people dying or the loss of life. I'm not going to celebrate it, and I'm not going to cheer for it in any way. But at what point do you realize, hey, if I try to run over a cop, I'm probably going to get shot in the face for it? And then you have the Nolan Wells case here in Mississippi. Of course, the entire nation, that whether it's Michael Strahan, CBS, ABC, NBC, Ben Crump, Reverend Al Sharpton, any of them trying to paint the entire state of Mississippi as like the most racist state in the country. And it's Mississippi's just danger. And I would throw my Mississippi disclaimer up there, but guess what? Boom, boom. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not doing it. Do you know why? Because Mississippi per capita has more black people in it than any state in the country. So if it's so damn dangerous for black people, why do you still live here? Riddle me that. Y'all make my damn head hurt. Like, yeah, seriously, and I'm with you. I'm with you, One Arm Bandit. I'm so over this race baiting. I'm so sick of the cards, man. I'm tired of the cards. The gender card, the woman card, the feminist card, the race card, the this card. How about we just have no cards, burn the damn cards, and all just be Americans? That's why I do not use the terminology African American, Asian American, Indian American. You know what they call me? White or just American. To quote Ralphie May, I don't use it because that involves separation. If I call you an African American, well, most of you've never been to Africa. If I call you an Asian American, some of you've never been to, why the hell would I call you that? We're all Americans. All of us. We're not Italian Americans. We're not Asian Americans. We're not Irish Americans. We're not African Americans. We're not Indian Americans. Whether you're Red Dot or Tomahawk, we're not Durka American. You're an American. And if you can't sit there and say, you know what? I'm an American, then get the hell out of here. Bye. If you want to be a blank American, then just go be a blank. Okay? Just go be a blank. I'm done with this shit. I'm over it. I'm through with it. I told my boys, I told my boys Salty in Jersey today, these people make it almost impossible for me to stop cussing. Like almost impossible. Because I'm so sick and tired of every time I scroll Twitter or every time I get on Instagram or something like that, I see Mississippi this, Alabama that, Mississippi this, Alabama that, Mississippi. It's all Mississippi's fault. It's all Alabama's fault. Right here. I got it. Okay. Yet 16 black kids get gunned down in the cities of Chicago and nobody says a word. Al Sharpton's not out there for that. Ben Crump's not out there for that. They're not out there for that. Okay. They're not out there for that. All right. Kids are murdering themselves by the hundreds in Jackson, Mississippi. I don't see and forgive me here. All right. What in the hell is the Israeli Brotherhood black protest group that's going on in South Miss? What the hell does that even mean? I don't even, did y'all have like 6 or 7 pairs of dice to come up with a name and you just went, well, I guess we're the Israeli Brotherhood of Black People. I guess that's what we're going to do. Yep, that's it. Yep, Israeli Brotherhood of Black People or whatever they call themselves. They're out there protesting, and the investigation is not even over with yet. Even Colin Kaepernick's investigation is not over with yet. Here we go. Dun, 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 blow the trumpets and all the bullshit. And it aggravates the life out of me that the black population just hasn't figured it out yet. That Colin Kaepernick, Ben Crump, and Al Sharpton, and Barack Obama, and Michelle Obama, all they're doing is making millions of dollars off of your anger and your rage and your pain. They don't give a damn. Ben Crump doesn't give a damn about Nolan Wells. You hear me? Right here. Yeah, I said it. Ben Crump, Colin Kaepernick, Al Sharpton, none of them 3 Peckerwoods give a rat's ass about Nolan Wells. All they're seeing is settlements and dollar signs. That's it. That's it. Because a sane person would wait until the autopsy was done. A sane person would wait for the toxicology to come back. A sane person would wait until the FBI, the whoever the hell's the Mississippi Department of Justice, whoever it is, completed their investigation, gave their determination. Then if you don't agree with it, then sure, raise hell. But you better have some substantial evidence of why you're raising hell, because I could turn around and shift and go, hey, do you remember when that poor young black kid was hanging from a tree in Delta State or Mississippi Valley State, and everybody called it a lynching, that some white dude lynched him, and the black chief of police, the black coroner, the black doctor that did the autopsy report went, yeah, that was a suicide. Yet, here we go again. We're going to protest. Why? Because it's Mississippi. That's why. So guess what? Crump, Sharpton, Kaepernick, you can kiss my Mississippi born and bred ass. All right. Then let me tell you why. Because none of this stuff ever mattered until social media told us it did. None of this mattered until social media told us it did. That's it. You know how I know this? Because I graduated high school in the year of our Lord 2001, and it was about 65-35. And our mascot was a Confederate. The road going to the school was 101 Confederate Drive. And you know who cared? This many people. Nobody cared. Nobody cared until social media cared. Nobody, and I'm sorry, Shock, I'm going to go ahead and apologize for this, but nobody gave a shit until some liberal lunatic Air Force family moved into the community and went, oh, they're called the Confederates, and they were white. They're called the Confederates. How shameful. How shameful. We got to change the names. And now we're the Cavaliers. Or, excuse me, they're the Cavaliers. Because not once have I ever, in the 43 years I've been alive, I graduated in 2001, it's 2026. Not in the 25 years since I graduated high school has anybody, family, friend, or complete stranger, ever said, hey, dog, let me ask you a question. What was your high school mascot? And I'll be the first to tell you, that Confederate and that Confederate flag means as much to me as the damn checkered flag in NASCAR. I could give 2 shits, okay? Because the only thing I've ever, there's only 2 flags I've ever sworn allegiance to, and that is the United States flag and the state of Mississippi flag when I was in the Mississippi Army National Guard. Well, and the North Carolina, because I was there too. Those are the only 3 flags that I've ever sworn. And my mic keeps cutting out because I can't sit still. You're going to have to deal with it. Like I'm in a pissy mood right now, and I'm going to keep doing this, and it's just going to keep doing it. So I'm sorry, but not really. And Trump the Cook called me a doofus. Yeah, well, you're watching me, Peckerwood. So who's the real idiot? Anyway, before I'm gonna do this read for Rumble Wallet just so I can calm down because I'm just Ladies and gentlemen, on your screen right now is a QR code. All right, and this QR code is for the app Rumble Wallet, or you can go to your Google Play Store. You can go to your Apple Play Store and download. Just search Rumble Wallet and download it. I have it on my phone. This is what I use. This is what I use to buy Bitcoin. Um, and it works. It takes the complexity of crypto because I got to be honest with you, when I first got the idea of buying and selling and trading crypto, it scared the hell out of me because I didn't know anything about it. No, it scared the piss out of me. But the Rumble wallet takes all the complexity out of it, like every bit of it. All you have to do is just download the app, choose what you want, whether it's Bitcoin, whether it's dollar backed stable coins, or even digital gold backed by real gold. It's not complicated. All you've got to do is it links it to your credit card, your debit card, your bank account, and you'll be up and running in minutes. And if you're nice enough, talk to Shock and he'll tell you when it's time to buy and when it's not time to buy. He's a pretty nice guy. He'd tell you that kind of stuff. But so do this now. Scan the QR code. The link is in the description. Download the Rumble wallet. From there, you can set up your wallet, tap buy, and you're ready to go and you're in the game. In just a few minutes, you can go from hearing about crypto to actually owning some. So go forth, do great things. Don't be scared. Just go do it. I'm telling you, it's worth it. Totally worth it. I've got some saved up, and every time I see the little thing go down, I go bye 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 because Shockwave tells me to, and he's smart like that. But go check out the Rumble wallet, guys. All right. I have some upsetting news. My Peckerwood hat was supposed to be here by 10 o'clock. And as usual, you get a notification from FedEx and it says it will be delivered from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m., which means it's going to be delivered the next day by 9 p.m. So it's still not here. I'm kind of pissed off that I didn't get to show it to you. All right. I am. But if you were in the Discord chat last night, and if you are a subscriber, not really a subscriber, if you're in my chat or my channel on Instagram, then you already know the Peckerwood collection is out. All right, so you can go to mymafia.store, and I'm just going to show you a few of the shirts that I've come up with. Love them or hate them. I've even got one for the ladies. All right, this is our official Peckerwood logo right here. The front of every shirt, and on the back, you requested it. I have a Gulf of America shirt for the ladies. And I even have a Gulf of America shirt for the men. Get back here. I have a Gulf of America shirt for the men. So go peruse the Peckerwood collection. There's a lot of pretty cool stuff in there. Go forth, do great things. That's the best way to support me, and also by supporting the sponsors that are taking a chance on supporting a Peckerwood like me. So I love this. I love this collection. I love it. I'm probably going to try to turn this into something, and we'll roll with that. But yeah, I love it. I love it. So the Peckerwood collection is alive and well. So go out there and order your Peckerwood shirt now. And the hats, hopefully mine shows up today, and I'll wear it in the morning on Dear America. And I'm probably going to play a little game with Graham. He's probably going to ask me what it is. I'm like, what are you talking about? What's the bird? I'm like, what bird? So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. The reason the hat's not on the site yet is because I'm not sure what it looks like, and I want to make sure that it's perfect before I send it out to you guys. And there's much more than just the Peckerwood collection as well. There's some patriotic tees and stuff like that. Stuff like that if you're uncomfortable, wearing a Peckerwood shirt. So go forth and do great things. But we got a show to do. And let's start off with something that, look, from UFC fights to Formula One or IndyCar or whatever you call it. Listen, I know you hear the accent. I don't watch racing. Whether it's I stopped watching NASCAR when Earnhardt was killed by Sterling Marlin. And then after Junior won the next Daytona race after he died, I kind of quit watching it after that. And now it's just kind of boring. I mean, they all drive the same cars, and it's just round and round and round and round and round and round. And just, but so we went from a UFC fight in front of the White House to now an IndyCar pit stop in front of the White House. And you know what? I don't care what you think about it. It's pretty freaking awesome. So check this out. It was an IndyCar pit stop literally right in front of the White House. This is amazing. Okay, wait a minute. Wait.
What do you think? 41 days from now, Mr. President?
Thank you. So I want to thank everybody for being here. Our country is great. Our country is strong, powerful, respected again like never before. And I'll see you in 41 days or sooner. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Look, listen, that's just awesome. I mean, it's just awesome. I have no idea how that. Yeah, that's what I say. Is it like one nut in that car? Like, is it one nut? How the hell do they do it that fast? Like, because in NASCAR, you know, it's like, and then the tires like this big, and I don't know. God love them. That's some mad respect on how fast you guys can flip around tires and stuff like that. I have no idea how you can do that, but that was cool. That was cool. That was really, really cool. Apparently there's going to be like a race or something, and I'm not watching that. Like, you know, one of my friends got mad at me because I didn't watch the Conor McGregor fight over the weekend, and I'm like, guys, Conor's going to get his ass beat. Like, and yeah, he took like one step back and like, oh, my knee. But anyway, it's just look, it's boring. It's absolutely boring. So we went from Fort Worth, Texas, telling Christians that, you know, basically they can't spread the gospel of Jesus Christ. I thought that was a part of the Constitution. Pretty sure freedom of speech and religion it's in there somewhere. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty confident it's in there somewhere. But it's happened again. And this time not in Fort Worth. It's happened in Fort Wayne, Indiana, at Arab Fest of all places. Imagine that. And so here's the lovely officer that decided to violate a pastor's First Amendment rights by not allowing them to preach at Arab Fest.
I thank you. The city's not going to thank you, but I thank you. I'll wait for a supervisor. You're refusing to call a supervisor? Okay.
Welcome.
Violating your own policy.
Right here.
It is part of department policy. Yes, ma'am. Yes. You're screwing up, young lady. You're screwing up. All right, guys. I just got trespassed off this public park because I refused to put down my camera. They're violating my First Amendment right. All because of Arab Fest. They didn't feel comfortable with a Christian coming to Arab Fest.
That's great. So now I'm elected. I guarantee you there's a time of Christians.
Nope. That's it. I have it all on video, and guess what? The whole world's going to see it. And then I'm going to sue the city.
There you go.
You have qualified immunity. The city doesn't. They have a permit. They're not renting the property. There's a difference. You're violating the First Amendment. I'm letting you know now you're in violation of the First Amendment of the United States Constitution, as well as the Indiana State Constitution. I will fight to get your qualified immunity removed. And I guarantee, if nothing else, you will get a couple warnings.
All right, as I've told you once, you write it down, bookmark it, clip it, post it, whatever you want to do, folks. If you guys really think, that Mama Dama, okay, and his little cabinet, and Dearborn, Michigan, all right, and Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib, if you really, 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 really think that it is about some form of Democrat socialism and communism, you're completely missing the boat. It ain't got nothing to do with the economy. It ain't got nothing to do with giving away free shit. It is because, and I've said this before, and you're probably going to hear me say it again until something really bad happens, and then I'm going to sit here and go, tried to tell you. I tried to tell you, I've been talking about it for months. It ain't got nothing to do with any of that, okay? 9/11 didn't work, okay? 9/11 didn't work the way they thought it was going to. And who is they? Islam. I'm not talking about the Muslims in the country that are peaceful, that just want to be left alone and pray to Allah on their rugs. That's not what I'm talking about, okay? Because, and I understand a lot of people have a lot of hate in their heart for every Muslim, okay? But let's just back up and punt for just a second, all right? Because I'm not going to do to them, all right, what is done to us as Christians, all right? I'm not. All right, we're going to call balls and strikes. What I'm talking about is these radical Islamic jihadist Sharia law that they hate you, they hate me, they want us dead just because we don't believe the durka bullshit that they believe. Okay, that's who I'm talking about. All right, that's who I'm talking about. All right. Mama Dami, Ilhan, Rashida, all of them. It ain't got nothing to do with socialism. It ain't got nothing to do with the economy. It is and the fact that people have not seen this coming, I have no idea, is right now we have a generation of kids that are being raised in this country that are entitled. That they think that they walk across that stage on high school graduation day, and at the other end of that is a job with health care and benefits, and life should be simple. And Durka's figured that out. Well, if I can go to one of the largest cities in the country and promise free buses and free groceries and free grocery stores and free transportation and frozen rent and tax the rich and Robin Hood this shit, then I can get my people in here. And then I stop ICE from arresting anybody and make sure that ICE is being blocked at every which way and turn it into a sanctuary city and anybody can come in. We can take this whole thing over. This ain't about free. This ain't about communism. This ain't about socialism. This is about invasion. This is what this is about. And as long, shut up, phone. And as long as we can, and again, it's not nationwide, it's regional. Okay, it's regional. It's a national problem, yes, but it's a regional problem. And as long as you continue to allow it to happen, you're going to hear more and more and more stories about that American woman from New York that was beat to death by her free Palestine boyfriend. You're going to see more stories about that. And I just have to sit back and go, look, I'm really sorry that happened to you. I'm really to your family. I do apologize. But we tried to tell you. We warned you. You didn't listen. You didn't. And unfortunately, this is the Lord's judgment. You have turned away and you've turned to another god, you've turned to another idol, and again, I did a whole show on it. Go back and read the book of Judges. When God allowed the Midianites and all of the Moabites to just come in, ransack regions of Israel because they turned their backs on God. Here we are. It's playing out in real time. And if that wasn't enough to make you believe what I'm saying, here you go. Exhibit A, Your Honor.
Look at this rooms, motherfuckers. We ain't going anywhere. Political structures that I have to work in, that we are surrounded by, was built on slavery and genocide and rape and oppression. Real change doesn't come from the cowards and warmongers in Congress. It comes from the streets. It comes from all of us mobilizing and seizing the power to resist and fight back. Gaza is the compass in this country.
That's all you need to hear, okay? That's all. You know what? Hang on just a second. Wait just a minute. Hold up. We're doing this in real time. Let's just look here. Okay, I'm just going to read this to you. All right, hold up. I'm going to go back. I want to go back. Okay, and I want to play this again.
The power to resist and fight back. Gaza is the compass in this country.
Gaza is the compass of this country. Now I want to read you something, okay? I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear truth, faith, and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of this office on which I am about to enter. So help me God. That's the oath that Rashida Tlaib took. And her mouth. Does that sound like a violation of said oath? Gaza is the compass of this country. Palestine is the compass of the United States. That kind of sounds like a violation of an oath to me. I'm not really sure, but I think it does. I understand that I'm just a bumpkin from Mississippi, but it doesn't sound like the oath that she took. And at that point, I would really hate to see, well, I don't know if hate's a strong word, what our founding fathers would do if they saw something like this. Again, folks, let's call it what it is. It's an invasion, period. And I just hope that I'm dead and gone before all of this plays itself out. I really do. I really do. And I really feel bad for my children and my grandchildren. But moving on to Maine. Okay, this is from our buddy Officer Tatum here. So an ICE agent fatally shot a man after he allegedly tried to ram agents with his vehicle in Maine. Federal officials have not confirmed the victim's identity. The vehicle was registered to Johannes Ramirez of Biddeford, but authorities have not confirmed whether Ramirez was the person who was shot. The investigation remains ongoing. Well, there's the shots. Okay. All right. Well, but here's my issue. All right, here's the issue that I have, because the body cam footage hasn't come out yet. The investigation hasn't been done yet. And yet protesters are gathered outside of no friend of ours here on this show or Graham's show, Susan Collins. Protesters are gathered outside of Senator Susan Collins' office following the deadly shooting. And I have a question. I have a question about this.
17 minutes past the hour right now. Anti-ICE protests outside the office of Senator Susan Collins after a deadly shooting in Maine involving an ICE agent. This is Bedford, where the shooting happened about 25 minutes south of Portland. Our correspondent Alexis McAdams is reporting live here in New York City. She's got the latest details on what is happening there. Alexis?
Hey, Sandra. So as you can see here on your screen, this is a live look at what's going on in Maine. We know federal agents are trying to piece together everything that happened as witnesses tell local media that ICE agents surrounded a car and repeatedly ordered the driver to get out. Then seconds later, we're told they heard gunshots, and it was also captured on surveillance video. Listen to this. Blocked off in Biddeford, Maine, if we want to pull that video up, after the ICE-involved shooting earlier this morning. We are told that the FBI and Maine State Police are working the case right now, and the feds have not yet said who was killed. So we're trying to figure that out. And basically, for people watching, wondering what's going on, there's more unanswered questions than we know, and we don't know what led up to the shooting. But hundreds of protesters, this to me would be the main story, or they are gathering now near the scene of the shooting. They're holding signs and they're demanding answers, including this woman.
I'm disgusted. This is horrible. I mean, the citizens of this country are literally being gunned down in the street for doing nothing, for the color of their skin.
And ICE operations have been ongoing in the state of Maine. Back in
Okay, so here's my question to the protesters in Maine, to the residents of Bedford or whatever the name of this town is. Are these the same residents that voted for a Nazi tattoo wearing alleged rapist, porta potty pecker beaten piece of trash Graham Plattner for Senate? Really? Are y'all like your moral compass is so dicked up in Maine? I don't know how you find the bathroom. Like seriously, I can't take any of you seriously. None of you. Now, I know there's some good people in Maine, and if you get this and you're a good person in Maine, and I'm not talking to you. Okay, but if you're the same idiot that voted for, Captain Swastika, that said, yeah, I'll rape a dude if he comes in my house to show dominance. And heck yeah, I love Porta Johns because that's the best place to pull out my weenie. No. Stop. You have no moral argument with me whatsoever. Like none. Like don't even bring that BS to me at all. Just stop it. Just absolutely stop it. But for the good people in Maine, all I can say is I'm sorry. And I pray for you. I really do, because this is just a mess. It's an absolute mess. But there is a witness. I wonder why this hasn't made the news.
I would say 7:15. I was driving through the intersection at Hill Street and Pool Street, and as I was approaching, you could see flashing blue lights. And then as I got closer, they were unmarked, so I assumed they were ICE. And then you could see them with their green vests and stuff, and it said police, ICE. And so as I actually was going through the intersection, I heard yelling. So I know I'm supposed to be paying attention, but I heard yelling off to my... So I looked, and I was watching, and the ICE agent was yelling and drew his weapon, and he kept yelling and warning the person driving, which is when the car was put into drive and was trying to hit the ICE officer. And he fired, I would say, probably 4 shots at him. And then by that time, I was also through, the intersection, so I just heard the popping. But I did see him draw his gun at the windshield. And then the car, you could see the car in the back, like rolling down the street afterwards.
Why hasn't that made the news? Why hasn't that made the news? Yeah, I saw the car, and the ICE agent warned him several times and yelled at him and drew his gun and said, "Get out, get out, get out." And they put the car in drive, tried to run him over, and he got killed for it. But yeah, you'll never see that on the news ever, because it doesn't fit the narrative, because it's much easier to just hold signs and, burn your town to the ground over a narrative. And because we're so close to November, because, Orange Man bad and all of that stuff. Yeah. I mean, that's just where we are. That's unfortunately, that's where we are. All right. Update on Iran. President Trump's FIFO blockade on Iran begins in 24 hours, and Iran is now threatening to walk away from commit. We don't care. Iran, walk away. We don't care. Walk away. Walk away. They already violated the ceasefire. Trump is done. Not all 2 minutes and 35 seconds it is. That's too long, but we'll listen to a little bit of it.
Walk away from key commitments with the United States as President Trump imposes a U.S. blockade on Iranian ships in the Strait of Hormuz. Listen here.
We're taking over the strait. They have nothing. They've got nothing. They're professional negotiators. That's all they are. I don't even call them good at it. They haven't gotten anything. They got nothing from me. But if you look, for 47 years, they've been tapping people along, presidents. Every president got tapped along, didn't do anything, and they became more and more powerful.
Correspondent Lucas Tomlinson is live. He's in Tel Aviv with the latest for us. Hi, Lucas.
Good afternoon, John. The U.S. military has just announced that blockade will now go into effect beginning at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Recall last week when the Trump administration revoked Iran's license to sell oil. Many were wondering, how would that be enforced? There's only one way, and that's with a return of the naval blockade. And that's what President Trump has ordered today, in addition to the 4 nights of airstrikes over the past week, hitting those targets as Iranian forces continue to attack ships in the Strait of Hormuz. The Iranian government says the Strait of Hormuz remains closed and it remains in control of the critical waterway.
Very good. I have my own opinion on that, where you have that little piece of land right there. Can we just get something to trench dig right through it so we don't have to worry about them? I mean, just a thought. But President Trump announced the United States will take 20% tolls on all Strait of Hormuz traffic. And say what you want. I love it. This is the old way of doing things, and I'm a fan.
They hit them very hard. And we're going to deal. It was a done deal. And then they broke it. They always break it. We've had 10 deals with these people. And so we're just going to hit them very hard. And we're going to keep the strait, and we'll probably run it. We'll become the guardian of the strait. Maybe we'll call it the guardian angel of the strait. And we should be reimbursed for that. When we do that, we're going to be reimbursed because the other nations are very wealthy. They're on our side. And we can't be expected to do that for nothing, unlike we had for many years. We guarded the strait for 50 years more, and we never got paid for it. They made all the money, and the United States was just, they wouldn't. It's amazing. We never we guarded it for nothing. And now we're going to guard it, and we're going to get paid for guarding it, a lot of money. But we just want to be reimbursed for doing all of this, for putting our people in danger. But we're really not putting people, we're really saving people. Remember this, they killed 52,000 protesters so far, as of this moment.
And I agree with you, chat. All right, from now on, we'll call it the Strait of America. You take that little piece of land and you take some A-10s and you just keep going back and forth until you carve out a nice big lane where any ship can pass through. And then you put our boys on both sides of it and just freaking dare somebody with Patriot missiles and God knows what else, and you just dare somebody to mess with it. All right, we call it the Strait of America. And you know what? There'll be a little gate right there. Sorry, we accept Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App before you come through. All right, ding, you're good. Let it go. I mean, I don't know if that's how it works, but it could possibly work that way. I don't know, but that's how I figured it. Bring it on. Make some money. It's time to make some money. But President Trump announced that he will address the nation Thursday evening at 9 p.m. Eastern time as tensions with Iran continue to escalate. So he will be making a speech to the nation. And he, of course, he says, thank you for your attention to this matter. So looking forward to see what he's saying there. Now, this case in Mississippi, again, before I even say anything, with this Nolan Wells case in Mississippi that everybody cares about. I I don't know what happened. No clue. Neither do you. Neither does Ben Crump. Neither does that poor kid's parents. Okay. Neither does Al Sharpton or the Israeli Black Brotherhood of whatever. They don't know either. Nobody knows what happens. The autopsy results haven't come out. Colin Kaepernick's autopsy results hasn't come out. Toxicology reports haven't come out yet. We don't know. Okay. But here's what we do know is that Ben Crump is putting out a whole bunch of bullshit. All right. And what I'm talking about is this photo right here, directly from Attorney Crump's Instagram page. Okay. Right here. Okay. Now the little circle right here that you can't see. All right. It's a bunch of beer cans. And this is his page. He is claiming that somehow Nolan Wells went to this island and came back and got into a swimming pool. And so makes it just even that much worse. All right. Yeah. And Tyler Perry too. You know, the guy that was accused for touching one of the men that works on his film crew. Yeah, that's trustworthy. All right. So investigation update from Ben Crump. The streets are talking. Now listen, I don't know if these are facts or rumors. Then you shouldn't have put it out there, asshole. If you don't know if they're facts or rumors, you shouldn't have put it out. But, anyway, because no official statements have been confirmed, we sometimes have to follow all the clues until the truth is found. Here is what was discovered on social media last night. The allegations claim that this photo exists. Nolan was land-based pool party in Jackson County before 1 p.m. on July the 5th. Why does he say Colin Kaepernick? Because Colin Kaepernick and Tyler Perry are paying for the autopsy and the funeral of this kid. All right. So this is what Ben Crump has posted on his Instagram. Because what we like to do is we like to throw out theories before we have facts and evidence. Why do we do that? Just to generate more hatred, just to generate more BS, because, that's what sells. That's what gets clicks, comments, and all that other crap. When in fact, a friend of Nolan said that this photo was actually taken on June the 27th. Let me show you here. Local authorities and one of Nolan Wells' own friends have since stated that this photo was actually taken on June the 27th in Pass Christian, not during the weekend when Nolan disappeared. Now, at this point here, I don't care what Ben Crump, Al Sharpton, or anybody, and again, to the family of that young man, I am so, and I mean it, y'all, I mean this genuinely from the bottom of my heart. I am so sorry that you lost your child. No parent should ever outlive their child. But to bring in Colin Kaepernick, to bring in Ben Crump and Tyler Perry, worst mistake you could have possibly made. Because all you just did was hinder an investigation. And now, whatever the actual investigation concludes, nobody's going to believe anyway. Because Ben Crump's not going to allow it to happen. Because he doesn't get paid that way. Very unfortunate situation. But there's more. So a friend, there's a viral video going around. Let me go back to myself. So I don't know if you guys have seen the viral video on the beach where it shows a bunch of people arguing or some people that look like they're arguing, from 100 yards away and saying that Nolan, give me my phone, mother effer. And then they left him and all that video that's been circulating. But a very close friend of Nolan Wells has come out and said, no, that's not him. That wasn't him. That was not him. And here is the actual interview with ABC News.
Morning, a friend of Nolan Wells, who was with the 18-year-old the day he was last seen alive, is sharing what he says happened during a July 4th boat trip to an isolated barrier island off the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Trayston Shepard declined to speak with us on camera because he says he and his friends are getting threats.
We did no wrong here, and we don't understand how we're getting so much hate behind it. We all cared and loved Nolan, and nobody wanted to see Nolan die. Nobody wanted to see his life be taken so short.
Shepard addressed this viral
This
video
is the
that
viral
investigators
video.
have been studying. Wells's parents worried it showed their son involved in a confrontation, but Shepard said that's him, not Wells.
That's the video I'm referring to. That's me yelling.
Shepard says he took a boat back from Horn Island in the late afternoon, but Wells stayed behind with a girl he had met.
They met that day, and it was kind of one of those things. It did come off that day that he really did like her, but that was the only time they've ever hung out was at Horn Island on July 4th.
Investigators believe Wells drowned and say there were no immediate signs of foul play. But there is growing frustration in the community, and his parents are skeptical, telling GMA Wells left his phone behind and they tracked it to one of his friends.
It was showing everywhere the phone had been. I was like, well, it's showing that he's back on land.
The sheriff said the parents have not turned over the phone to investigators. Their lawyer said they will. While the investigation goes on, Trayston Shepard wants the focus on his friend.
I want everybody just to relax and let everybody mourn the loss of Nolan, and let us remember him as in like the sweet guy. I think everybody needs to let the investigation continue and let the facts be shown.
Shepard has spoken with the police guys, and the sheriff told us that both he and all of Wells's friends have been cooperative. We're still waiting on the results of the official autopsy and the independent autopsy the family has ordered, hoping to get the Wells family the answers that they so desperately seek. Guys.
So good to have you there, Aaron, and your investigative team, because so many people are wanting to have.
And me and Salty Tattooed Mom had a conversation about this the other day, and I actually had a conversation with my kids about this. So the mom and Professor Crump say that all of the Snapchat photos were deleted off of the kid's phone, yet they were tracking him through an app called Life 360. And if you're a parent that has kids that have phones, then you know what that is. You know, it shows where they're going, how fast they're going. It shows everything. Well, at some point during the interview with old Gap-Tooth Strahan here, he says, well, we couldn't find his location on Snap Map, but we tracked him on Life 360. But all the Snapchats were deleted. Okay. And so for the old people in the audience, let me just tell you how Snappy Chat works. All right. If I send Kendra a Snapchat from right here where I live and shut down the and swipe the and close the app and drive my ass to Texas, if she pulls up Snap Map, it's going to show me in Vernon unless I open it in Texas. Okay. So if you couldn't find him on Snap Map, then how did the kids open it and delete the message and you not see him move on Snap Map? That's my question. All right. That's the question that I have. Now, again, I'm not saying hear me. I'm not saying that foul play did not happen. That is not what I'm saying. I'm just saying where they're saying things ain't adding up. What I'm saying is what they're saying is not adding up either, because that's not how Snapchat works. All right. And as far as photos were deleted. All right. Photos were deleted. Well, that's how Snapchat works. You know, I get a Snapchat from my son, and for whatever reason, teenagers like to snap pictures of their foot in the wall to you, and you open it, you look at it, and it goes away unless you save the picture and the message yourself. Okay, it goes away. That's the whole point of Snapchat. So it's just a lot of stuff's not adding up. A lot of stuff's not adding up. But we'll continue. Lindsey Graham passed away. And listen, I'm no fan of Lindsey Graham, no fan of his policy, no fan of his Ukraine crap, no fan of his Israel crap. I'm not. Me, nor Graham, none of us. All right. Most of us legit red-blooded Americans that are conservatives, not fans of Lindsey Graham. But this has brought out the worst in the liberals. And to which I say, why get mad when evil does evil? You know these people are evil. You know they're dirtbags. You know they're trash pandas. Why get mad when they post this ridiculous stuff, knowing that they're already pieces of human filth and garbage? But, I'll show you a couple of them. All right, so here's one. All right, this is what's been circulating. Lindsey Graham has moved on to the next step in his journey, trying to convince Hades to attack Zeus and Poseidon. He says it'll only take a couple weeks and won't require any ground troops, and there's no way Poseidon can close the strait. All right, not terrible, but still, no need on that. And this one, good riddance from the devil herself. Even this one, good riddance. Absolutely horrible. But this was said not too long ago. What kind of monster thinks gloating about dead people is ever okay? I guess apologists for ethnic cleansing. Well, Sarah Field says, well, I guess you're the monster. And before anybody, any trolls in the chat says a freaking word, I didn't agree with this statement either by the President of the United States. Robert Mueller just died. Good. I'm glad he's dead. I didn't like it either. That's not okay. Not from a president, not from any human being. There's absolutely no reason, no excuse for whatsoever to celebrate when somebody loses their life. Now, there are exceptions. There are exceptions. Hitler, pedophiles, people who murder other people, people who prey upon the innocent. Okay? But none of this is okay. Not from the president, not from the demon, all right, not from whatever the hell that guy's name was, Senator, whatever the hell his name was. All right, none of that is okay. Not from Nick. None of it's okay. I don't care what you thought of Lindsey Graham as a politician. I don't care what you thought about his policies. I don't care. The man's dead. And as we remember, we're on this anniversary of Butler. We have lost our humanity. And it's a very painful, heartbreaking thing to watch play out. And I had people all over social media send me the Robert Mueller thing. And I said, yeah, I called that out too. I don't like it at all. Well, then you still support him? You still support him even though he said that? Well, my children have said dumb shit. I have said dumb shit. My father has said dumb shit. I still love him. I still support him. But I didn't vote for the president to be my moral compass. And when he says something stupid like that, I'm going to say, that's stupid. He shouldn't have said that. And it goes back to the difference in a mistake and principles. Okay, what President Trump did was a mistake. 100%. What these people do, that's the principle. That's the stuff they believe in. That's the stuff they stand on. And if another Republican dies tomorrow, or if another conservative dies tomorrow, they'll do the same thing. Charlie Kirk, same thing. Lindsey Graham, same thing. God forbid somebody else passes away, they'll do the same thing. When it was announced that Joe Biden had cancer, I prayed for him on Dear America, and I meant it with all my heart because I'm a human being. And I'm not losing my humanity. And I know a lot of you have not lost your humanity either. And I know a lot of you feel the same way that I do. But as a society and as a country, we got to do better. Because this is pitiful. And it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for other countries to see, social media influencers and political correspondents going, good riddance, I'm glad you're dead. That's third world shit. That's not American spirit. That's not how we act. That's not what we do. Osama bin Laden? Yeah, I'm glad he's dead. Saddam Hussein? Yeah, I'm glad he's dead. Why? Because I physically saw the torment and horror that he caused in his own country. He deserved the rope around his neck. Osama bin Laden deserved a bullet in the forehead. But just because you don't agree with somebody politically, your response is good riddance. Shame on you. And I know you don't have a soul, okay? And I know that doesn't mean anything to you. But shame on you. All right, last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, gold. Let's talk about True Gold, and then we'll get to your questions. And hey, then we'll get out of here. But don't leave yet. Don't leave yet, because reminder, today is Monday, ain't it? Yeah, all day. Ladies and gentlemen, True Gold Republic. All right, listen, all I'm asking you to do is to go to the link in the description. It's kind of long, secure.truegoldrepublic.com/Todd. Or if you have the rotary phone by the Frigidator, you can call the 1-800 number, 1-800-628-GOLD. All I'm asking you to do is have a conversation. All right, if you have expendable income at the end of the month, I don't know if you do, your financials is none of my business. But if you do, it might be a good idea to invest in gold because it's going up. I've been doing this with Graham for 3 years. And as I've told you before, 3 years ago, if you would have invested just $2,000 in gold, you'd have about $4,200 worth of gold right now. That's how much it's gone up in just the last 3 years. So call the number 1-800-628-GOLD, or okay, you can go to the website and fill out this free information kit, and they will send it to you. And they have a special right now for, I think it's $5,000 invested. You get one free silver 1 ounce American coin, which I think that's pretty cool. But go see our British brother Sam at True Gold. And look at that handsome devil. Ooh. Anyway, go check them out. TrueGold.com right now, or no, TrueGoldRepublic.com/Todd, or call the 1-800 number. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. I will get to the questions, but before I get to the questions, let me remind you, at 7 p.m. Central Time, okay? That's in 3 hours. It's 4 p.m. Central Time now. 3 hours from now, we are going to start our devotional. I still have no idea what to call it. All right, I'm going to call Chad after the show because Chad does before the noise to get your day going. And I just felt it necessary that before we lay our heads down at night, to have some peace and to spend some time with the Lord before we lay our heads down, or before we get to dinner, or before we get to family time, to spend some time with the Lord. And these two books are what we're going to be going through. This is God Bless America. It's a 60-day devotional. And this is Wisdom for Each Day by Billy Graham. The Amazon link for both of these books are in the description right now. They're also on the Discord as well. It will start at 7 p.m. Central. So be on the lookout for that. Don't know how long it's going to be. Probably 20, 30 minutes. Maybe a little bit longer, maybe a little bit shorter. I have no idea, but we'll see. And for all of you that are joining, this is my attempt at not just increasing my sanctification process, but also increasing ours as a family, because that's what this mafia is. We're a family. And so that is what's most important and near and dear to my heart. And we're going to start that tonight at 7 p.m. Central Time. Now, I can't promise this is something that we're going to do every day. I can't call it After the Noise because I think Chad has something called After the Noise. I'm going to call him and talk to him about it and see how he feels about it. Because look, me and Chad been friends for a few years right now, and he is literally a shirt off his back type of guy. But we'll see. We'll figure something out. I promise. But let's get to these questions, guys. Alicia Victoria, at this point, I just call it Darwinism. Stop using your car as a weapon. Yeah, it's common sense, pretty much. K-Stone, you're better than me. I say get these blue-haired idiots out of my gene pool. Yeah, truth to that, too. Trent, the easiest way to topple a government and establish socialism is to cause radical racial division. It eventually destroys the country, and socialism is born from the ashes. Then comes financial collapse. Very good. Very, very well spoken there, Trenton. Very well spoken. Oh, and here we go. Y'all have absolutely no idea how proud I am that my toddler is finally reaching the point that no shit's given with the EBTs that I've been on for forever now. I love you. I love you, brother. Johnny, I don't think there's such a thing as a moderate Muslim. I think they are pretenders until they are a majority. Then they don't play pretend anymore. And I'm not going to confirm nor deny. I'm just going to tell you the ones that I deal with here in Mississippi and some in Alabama. They're extremely peaceful. We have conversations. I've had conversations with a lot of them, and they hate what's going on in the country just as much as we do. Okay. I am just not a big proponent at taking a serving size this big and judging something this big based upon it. I'm not wired that way, because that's the same thing that's done to me. All right. I've had this happen to me personally, just because I was a white boy that was born in Mississippi. All right. So I'm not going to participate in that. I'm not. Jersey, I don't support Todd because he carries his firearm like a sissy girl pants. Dude, you're killing me, man. Jersey, when you go after the EBTs, you got to have me as a buffer so you get less death threats. Brother, if you could, the death threats, it doesn't matter if you're in my corner or not. They're coming. I'm sure I've got plenty of them in my inbox right now, just waiting. Alicia Victoria, when are you starting the Bible study? Do we have homework? No, you don't have homework. Matter of fact, the way I'm going, you know what? Just show up at 7. You'll see. It's going to be a lot of transparency. You guys are going to probably learn a lot about me and how I do things. And the reason I'm going to do it this evening, you know what? I'm going to shut up. We'll explain it at 7. Okay. We'll explain it at 7 in 2 hours and 55 minutes. Okay. 2 hours and 55 minutes. My older brother is reconnecting with God, and he's trying to be a leader of his household. How can he show his preteen daughter and young son a different way? Sister-in-law is a different religion. By being an example. That's how you do it. The same way Jesus did it. By being an example. By walking it, by talking it, by never responding the way that you want to respond. Just remember, your initial reaction is not always the right one. Okay? It's not always the right one. And hopefully when we get through these books, one of them is very, very got Billy Graham, a lot of wisdom in here. And I have a story to tell you about Billy Graham when we get started that's going to blow your mind. And this is more founding fathers, the fabric of our nation. So we'll get there, I promise. Johnny Marine, it's not a small serving size though. That's the problem. And and if they have a problem with what's happening, then they should speak out against it. And they do, like they do. The ones that I know, again, I'm not doing it, man. Like I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to judge somebody just based on their faith, I'm going to judge off character. That's who and I'm not saying that that's what you're doing. Okay. I'm not saying that's what you're doing. I judge based off of somebody's character, what they show me individually. Okay. And that's just the way that I am, period. Okay. Whether you're a white guy in a trailer park, whether you're a black dude with a hood on, or whether you're wearing a burqa, I'm judging you based upon the character that you show me. And if that bites me in the butt and gets me killed, then that bites me in the butt and gets me killed. It is what it is. I did it when I was deployed. I do it in this country. I did it when I was in DC. I did it when I was in New York City. That's just who I am. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't keep my head on a swivel and old Bessie on the side. Okay. It doesn't mean I'm ignorant or stupid. All right. It just means, you know, I can't do that. Like, I just can't spiritually. I can't do that in my spirit. I can't. But what I have learned, the closer that I get to God, the more discernment he gives me, and the more warning flags and red flags I get around those type of people that would be willing to do me harm, but they don't look it, if that makes sense. Okay. But anywho, that's all the time I got. I will see you guys in just a few hours. Love you, miss you, mean it. If you can show up, show up. If you can't, no feelings hurt. But we're going to have a good time. Love you, miss you, mean it. I'll see you guys in a couple hours. And if not in a couple hours, then I'll see you in the morning and back here, same time, same place on the hot seat. Hope you guys have a great day. Love you, miss you, mean it.